Our opening words this morning are from a Passover Haggadah. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our power to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve the spirit of freedom.
Thank you, Janet. Lori Napoli will light the chalice here in the sanctuary. Those of you at home are invited to light your own chalice now. It's never easy. There you go. We light this beacon of hope as a sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lit the flame within us and the community. Before we sing the first hymn, let me remind our remote participants to leave yourselves muted. However, we want you and whoever is with you to sing with us as big and loud as you like. Make it a joyous experience. Please stand in body or spirit and sing the opening hymn, Fire of Commitment, number 1028. Terrific. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist community of Cambria. We are glad you have joined us today. Our UUCC sanctuary sits on land that the Salinan and Chumash indigenous peoples historically inhabited. We honor their contribution to this region and give thanks for the opportunity to gather in faith on their unceded territory. Let us respect their legacy and protect their history as we occupy this sacred space. Today's gathering is an abbreviated service combined with the annual membership meeting, followed by lunch. So welcome to this special event. Due to time constraints, we will forego the usual announcements and joys and concerns, except for one announcement Mary Schwalb would like to share with us now. Schwalbe.
Hi, well, we weren't here last week, and so I wasn't able to make this announcement. If any of you don't have plans for Thanksgiving and you would like to spend it with the Schwalbes, we are hosting an impromptu Thanksgiving potluck at our home. Okay, so just get in contact. We'll figure out times and what's and all that, okay?
That's great. Next week, Mary Ann Anderson will present To Tell the Truth. The affirmation is both a recognition of the nature of this community as well as a promise to which we aspire. Let us now recite the UUCC affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another. Today's reading is an excerpt from Approaching Conflict Like a Poem by Tanya Marquez, found on the UUA website. I joined a poetry class because a new acquaintance invited me to. I mostly joined so I could get to know this person better. I was captivated the first day by the deep wisdom my professor shared. To me, it was like being at church. Every word he spoke found fertile soil in my heart. There were times where I felt myself overcome with beauty. The beauty I found in this class contrasted with the conflicts I was witnessing at work, in society, and almost everywhere. One Friday, as I listened to my teacher recite one of the poems, I wondered, what if I approached conflict like writing a poem? What if everyone did? Most of the time, conflict is reactive. People tend to do and say things before they've had a chance to process their emotions or to understand the totality of the conflict. But I learned in my poetry class about carefully choosing words, not because they need to rhyme or have a specific number of syllables, but because they need to be precise and beautiful. Poets are intentional about how to best deliver the message, how to best uncover the mystery of life so that others can experience it. Silences matter too. Part of the message is to pause, to wait, to leave space, to breathe before the next line. There's also the rhythm. A poem is a song, and songs can touch on difficult subjects too. But the rhythm, the melody, matters. Since that moment, I've been wondering, what if the next time I find myself in the midst of conflict, I can slow down and imagine I'm about to write a poem? Then, conflict resolution or transformation would turn into a craft, a laboratory where beauty is created. There would be a slowing down that would help me connect with what I'm feeling so I can find the right words to share that experience, and a silence to let me listen to the poem of the other.
Our membership is filled with wonderfully committed people, all pulling in the same direction toward a shared goal that is widely supported. Our membership is healthy, and our membership is growing. They're coming in from all sides. And speaking of a healthy membership, we're pleased to welcome 6 new members to our UU community. Would the following people please come up now and stand on each side of me? Margot, Steve, Julia, and Diane can be over here, and Mark, and Stan had to work today. We warmly welcome you to our community. We promise to do all we can to make this a place of warmth and sustenance for you, where you will find acceptance, challenge, encouragement, and love. You will also find many diversified opinions. We encourage you to get involved with the myriad of activities that are offered here at the UUCC. In a moment, when I call your name, please say, "I will," I hope. Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? Will you add your name to the long list of Unitarian Universalist women and men who spread hope with our living faith? Will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to love and justice? Mark West?
I do.
Oh, well, that's even better. Diane?
I will.
Thank you. Julia?
I will.
Steve?
I will.
And Margot?
I will.
You have each accepted our covenant as a promise to stay in community when challenges arise, because we all have unique personalities that may, from time to time, differ with one another. We strive to embrace harmonious relationships as a spiritual practice. And with that said, conflict is inevitable. So we ask you to apply our covenant as often as possible and encourage you to ask for help if you should ever need it when finding yourself at odds with another. Our covenant can be used in every part of your life, including family members, friends, and others who value healthy communications as we do. To remind us all about the most sacred practice of how we treat one another, please join in with the congregation so that we can recite the covenant together. Please turn, and we will recite this together because we believe we cannot say this often enough and take this into our hearts. We, the Unitarian Universalist community of Cambria, honor the bounds of community. Covenant, a Latin word for come together, means a solemn agreement or promise from the heart regarding a course of action between parties. This document is our promise whereupon we agree to be together in community, even if we do not agree on all the details. Recognizing that conflict is normal and sometimes healthy, we embrace harmonious relationships as a spiritual practice that connects us to our own and others' inherent worth and dignity, and to the interdependent web of all existence. There's more. It takes courage to create this beloved community through joining together. We promise to stay a part of the conversation as best we can. We choose to honor this covenant when we make mistakes and continue to try earnestly to correct them. Concern for the well-being, openness, safety, and stability of the congregation as a whole shall be given priority. Examples of behaviors considered disruptive to the congregation may be perceived or real threats to the safety of any adult or child, disruption of church activities, or the diminishing the appeal of the church to its potential and existing membership. Thank you. Okay, please stay up here for a few more moments. No, you can come over here, Margot. Mark, come back where you were. Our president, Dolores Miera, will now hand each of you your official UUCC certificate verifying that you are now an official member. Steve.
All right, Steve.
Yay, Steve. Julia. Stanner. Yeah, there you go. Margot Biggs. Yay. Diane West. Yay, Diane. And Mark West. In addition, please receive, new members, our special spider plant, which Dolores is now handing out, nurtured and grown by our president, Dolores Miera. Dolores, who came from Southern California, first saw this tradition when she belonged to the Newberry Park Unitarian Church and decided to carry on the tradition today. The spider plant symbolizes prosperity, promoting the life force and energy that flows through you and through everything. May your plant proliferate and produce many offspring to help our environment, just as we know that you will generate new ideas, friendships, and personal growth for our community. You may now take your seats. Well, you did good for the first assignment you had for the new people. Adding 6 persons to our membership, we are now altogether a total of 44 official members. May we all continue to work to embody our UU principles, both within our congregation and in the wider community. I congratulate not just the new members, but also the usual suspects, our entire membership, on your dedication, your generosity, and your service. It's so great to have all of you here today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
Okay, next up, please, and congratulations to all the new members. You are very welcome. Let's all stand in body or spirit and sing "We Are a Family," written by Jan Kollner.
We are a family. We
Please welcome our esteemed president of the Union
Welcome to our 15th annual Congregational Meeting. 15, imagine, we did it. So our first meeting and service was December 21st, 2008. And we've lived in many houses together. The old schoolhouse, Rabobank, a gym, my living room, Janet Cooper's living room, Bill Lakin's, in fact, most early members' living rooms. But then we settled for a while in our tried and true Vets Hall. It was a good place to be for a while. But by 2013, we were tired of being kicked out when the space was needed. Members contributed to a down payment and to a mortgage. We burned the mortgage in about 5 years. Now, 10 years later, look at us today. 44 strong and growing. It's not easy being a president. One could observe other leaders and learn from their work. In fact, your current Board of Trustees studied a book this year called Emotionally Intelligent Leaders. It takes a lot of very serious and dedicated people to keep UUCC thriving. Here is your current Board of Trustees with their official board hats on at our first meeting of 2023. But it's not all work and no play. We even celebrate birthdays. No one gets by without aging well. And there's a preponderance of baby boomers in our congregation, if you haven't noticed. When we have a party, everyone shows up. In fact, those who used to be members but no longer come to UUCC show up when the party is for someone very special. Anybody recommend? Young people, older people, we all break bread together. Why? Because we are a family. We play and we learn to make things together. We play games together. We sing carpool karaoke, helps us to know one another well. We have directors, actors, singers, musicians. We are all a talented people here at UUCC. But sometimes a bug gets in the house, and we must eradicate it if we can. And then it's necessary to try and figure out how to restore the house to being bug-free by learning what it is to live in harmony with all of nature and each other. So we turn to the covenant. And that's not easy, so we keep working at it. And work at it some more. Until we learn what it is to work with each other through covenant. We are all a covenantal congregation. We are a covenantal congregation. We learn to live together. We get down to work and figure out how to help not only our own family, but other families. While doing committee work, we always remember to break bread together. We are a family. We get inspiration from many outside sources, such as UU ministers who are close by, and some far away, but very beloved. We get inspiration from our own members with their wisdom to share. And with true sharing comes joy. And wisdom from those in our own town who work for the world. This is PJ Webb, Monterey National Sanctuary. And those in our town who share with the world their ideas of love and kindness. Catherine Ryan Hyde, author of Pay It Forward. She last shared her thoughts on empathy with us. We show up for many causes as best we can. Some UUCC family members also live in other places for a time, but always return back to our family when they can. Some move away, but stay in our hearts. We are a family. We belong to each other. It's about belonging, beloveds. I want to say goodbye to our wonderful departing Board of Trustees members, Andy Fagan, Sue Davis, Nancy Tolan, and Kat Lakish. Their love welcomed me back into the president's seat and moved us so aptly forward. I look forward to another wonderful year with our new Board of Trustee members after they are voted in. Peace.
Yeah, Janet's up next with a treasurer's report.
Okay, thank you, Dolores. All right, before I get into it, I just also would like to thank all our pledging members and friends. Your support, both financial and your time and talents, is what makes our congregation possible. So thank you all so much. So we're ending this year in a strong financial position. We have no debt, healthy balances in both the checking and savings accounts, outstanding services crafted by our music and worship committees, and our community outreach programs are thriving. One bit of news, next year, our board plans to set up a discount brokerage account for the UUCC in order to get a better return on our savings account. If you're interested in any more details about 2023 finances, monthly statements can be found on the UUC website under members. Okay, so moving right into the 2024 proposed budget. On the screen is a condensed version of the budget spreadsheet. You all have received a complete version. Just had it handed out this morning and it was sent via email. We are making a big ask this year. We're trying to increase our pledges by over $7,400. I will be going over the reason for the increased request. It's mostly to increase and improve our community outreach programs. So a quick rundown of our 2024 proposed budget. The top line is funds received from the pledge drive. You can see 2024, we're requesting $47,850. The second line down is other income, which includes cash donations received in offerings and income from our Adopt a Highway work. So that's increased a little bit. We're really looking to see a good pledge drive this year. So as by way of explanation, under expenses, I'm going to go through the main expense in each category. All the details are in your expanded spreadsheets. So under Board of Trustees, the biggest expense there is our UUA PSWD dues that run about $2,500 a year. And next, under Congregational Life, the biggest expense there is the annual brunch, which we're enjoying today. It runs over $1,000. Worship committee and music expenses all go towards our Sunday and special services and include speaker fees, which we are going to be increasing this year to be more in line with expected speaker fees. We also support AV tech support, musicians honorariums, and all the other supplies needed for the services. The operations committee budget, next line down, includes association dues that run around $6,100 a year, utilities and internet run around $3,200 a year, and property insurance at $1,640, and other ongoing expenses to maintain our sanctuary. Other than inflation on the fixed expenses, the biggest increase in the operations budget is to increase the advertising expenses from $500 a year to $2,500. This increase will support a postcard project that is currently being worked on. We are going to mail it out. At the moment, that's the plan, to all Cambrian residents to know that there's a UU community in town. We just meet too many people that don't know we're here. So we're going to get it out. Reserves and RE budgets are unchanged. The last one to go over is second from the bottom, Social Justice Committee is asking for several increases. We'd like to increase our scholarship fund from $5,000 to $6,000 and increase the Special Community Projects Fund from $1,700 to $2,150. And that last fund, among other things, that goes towards helping the local unhoused population, food insecure households, and it's donated to local charitable concerns. An example would be the Stuff the Bus annual program. We contribute to that every year. So I think that's about it. Do we have any questions? If not, I forgot to mention, I hope you paid attention. I was supposed to say that because we're going to be voting on this. I hope I didn't put you to sleep. So wake up. Okay, thank you.
This morning, you get to take a pop quiz. I have 5 statements, and you are to vote on one. Which one is correct? Show it on your hand. You can say it's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, so we can see you which number you think is correct. Okay, number 1. We are united by our beliefs. Number 2. We are united by our socioeconomic status. Number 3, we are united by our relationships. Number 4, we are united by our ability to sing our hymns in the right key. Don't vote yet, it's coming. And number 5, we collectively develop our faith, and if we disagree about it, we ask Randy Schwalbe to referee who is correct. Okay, so do you know which one? Okay, show us which one. 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, a lot of ones. Okay, so we got a lot of 3s. If you voted number 3, you can give yourself a pat on the back, just like this. Number 1, we are united by our beliefs. We all have separate beliefs. We all discuss the differences in our beliefs. So if you chose number 3, you did good. And if you chose number 1, okay, you did okay. We are united by our relationships, which is what the covenant is all about, relationships. How we do relationships with each other is what makes the difference, and our covenant keeps us honest, vibrant, growing, and working through our differences so we can feel good about ourselves and one another. Each of us has consented to practicing our covenant in order to keep our relationships healthy. This practice is not always easy and may create some uncomfortable feelings, but the end result of connection is worth the effort. We strive to stay connected, and that is what keeps our church thriving. When we don't stay connected, our community suffers. It's called practice. When you experience conflict that may get in the way of your relationship, practice your covenant. Talk to the person, work it through so there's positive change. Care for each other through deep listening and genuine kindness while assuming goodwill. Create a safe environment by respecting and trusting one another. There's nothing healthier for you than to express your authentic self, and when that happens, we thrive. By committing to practicing the covenant, you promote positive change in yourself and in the world. It's powerful. From time to time, our covenant needs to be evaluated and changed because new people have new ideas about what is most precious about staying in community and how to express this sentiment. Our last revision was in September of 2015. If this kind of communication interests you more, if you have any ideas for changing it for the better, or talking about it further, you may want to get involved with the Covenant Committee. And if so, please let me know. The slide says, I promise you that whenever you are on the covenant path, if you will sincerely and persistently do the spiritual work needed, you will have all the direction you will ever need in your life. Thank you.
I was busy doing something. Good morning. I am Randy Schwalbe, the chair of the Venerable UUCC Worship Committee. And because we are lay-led, this worship committee operates differently than most other worship committees whose typical purpose is to support the resident minister. Instead, our mission is to place a speaker in this pulpit every Sunday of the year, either in person or remotely, and assign a worship associate to, quote, MC each service. The pool of 16 WAs have taken the rigorous training required to lead a service in this challenging, loving environment. So if you are currently part of the worship associate pool, please raise your hand. Okay, we thank you for your service. The committee meets every fourth Monday of the month at 4:30 p.m. on Zoom. We will be considering going back to in-person meetings shortly. And the members include Marianne Anderson, Judy Butler, Andy Fagan, Jan Misara, and Mary Schwalbe, a permanent member representing the music department. At each meeting, we review the past month's services, often assigning gold stars to stellar performances, of which there have been many this past year. We then review and update the speaker schedule and provide suggestions and leads for future speakers. And with that input, I send out speaking invitations via email. Now, here is where I want to share evidence about how healthy this community is, including its reputation. Of all the individuals I have invited over the past 8 years or so, I can recall less than a handful who said no thank you. That is a remarkable record. It is such a pleasure to receive virtually nothing but affirmative responses. And I wish I had that kind of luck in college. And several of our remote speakers, such as Reverend Carey from Maui and Reverend Ken from Hingham, Massachusetts, just love speaking in our virtual pulpit about twice each year. They often express their genuine pleasure being with us during the service. And Professor Stephen Lloyd Moffitt from Cal Poly and Reverend Rod from UU Slow Church are steady regulars, as well as among many of our other speaking dignitaries. And I should not forget to acknowledge all of you brave souls out there who have ventured up here to share your innermost thoughts and feelings. This community has a plethora of very talented speakers. Finally, this committee looks for ways to improve our services, and anyone's input is always welcome, as well as attending our meetings. And at this time, we are 6 members, but we'd like to carry 7 or 8. So if you're interested in being part of the Inner Circle Developing Services, please get in touch with me or any of the committee members. Thank you for your time.
So I'm here to speak about the nuts and bolts of the worships, just because I know you all are so interested in how we make it happen. Since coming back from COVID and adding Zoom to our repertoire with remote participants, our system has grown and grown and grown to do a better and better job of that. Currently, it looks like this. Randy put together this schematic of what he and I have created over the years as we've grown, and you can see it's not nothing. So both in capital in terms of cost for the equipment, much of which has been donated or collected, and then just the effort and labor it takes to make it all work. We've done a lot and we're proud of it, and it's working better and better all the time, including an improvement that we recently made in the method of recording the services. For those of you who have either watched the recordings, or as well as those of you out in the community who watch them, you may recall that they usually look like something like that, right? Big slide and a tiny little thumbnail of the person speaking up in the corner. And many of you have commented, I wish I could see that person better. It's not ideal. Well, after much encouragement and a lot of research, I think Zoom has also added capability that it did not previously have. We can now make the recordings look like that. The guy in the picture will probably be a better looking guy, better dressed as well. But I have the ability now to record multiple tracks of the same service so that we can do a picture-in-picture and have a better version of it for everybody to view. And hopefully that will not only help us, but it will help a wider world of viewership. So we're excited about that. We have, right now, Randy and I have the skills set to run the show, so to speak. My son, Ben, has been trained and has come in on a few occasions when Randy and I are both elsewhere. And we're also beginning an outreach to train a few additional people. So as we've said frequently, if anybody wants to dive into that crazy graphic, it's not that bad, but it's a challenge. And we'll always look, if anybody knows anybody who thinks they'd be interested in that sort of thing, please give us a shout and we'll try to bring them into the fold. Thank you.
That's great. Well, it takes a lot, doesn't it, to run this little group? Very appreciative. So let me find the right hat to wear here. Okay. Operations Committee. First of all, raise your hand if you're on our Operations Committee. There we go. This is a group of really active, lively people. Myself, Mike, Janet, Dolores, Diane, Lori, Kathy, Randy, Margot, and Julia. Julia joined us recently and have added a lot of ideas to our group. So this is the group that in the bylaws it says, or the procedure management document, we're in charge of administration, which I got to change glasses here. Sorry, you used to see me with ones on top of my head for reading, right? Administration. So we maintain email lists, rosters, organize and distribute the weekly newsletter, update the UUCC calendar, and maintain the UUCC website and Facebook with upcoming services and past service recordings. Now I have to say, I said we, but Lori Napoli does all of that. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Lori. Whew. And facilities we maintain. So we oversee the custodial services, provide maintenance, unclogging sinks or calling a plumber. Thank you, Mike, who came in and unplugged sinks. We maintain the grounds. Thank you, Judy Butler. Wow. Looks wonderful out there. All those lovely, healthy succulents, and I know you just quietly come in and take care of it. Thank you for doing that for us. The use of the facilities comes through our committee as well. So if you ever are planning something, it needs to come to the operations committee to put it on the calendar and to arrange for planning anything like that you have to offer, any activity you have. We also are in charge of advertising and public relations, articles for the Cambrica CA, Cambrica. I've been taking care of that. I am the official correspondent for that. So if you have any articles about us here at the UUCC, send it to me first, and then I'm supposed to kind of polish it and put it in their format and send it to them. But we've maintained quite a lot of articles in that. I'm not getting to it every 2 weeks or even every month, but I'm really trying hard to do it at least once a month. Signs and banners we're in charge of. Kat, you organized that latest banner that we made, and that was made through the local school group. And so we also managed to stay local for that. So thank you for that. Fundraising we're in charge of. Now, Diane is usually very active on the fundraising issue. And because we're doing the highway maintenance and receive a stipend for that, we haven't had to be as pushy this year on fundraising. I'm sure it'll come up because we all enjoy those, garage sales and auctions and things like that. But we've been able to concentrate more on social events than fundraising this year, at least, because that highway maintenance brings us in some good money. So we probably will have a garage sale. I want to thank Kathy and Judy. They're the garage sale queens. So at some point I'm sure we'll have a garage sale because I know Judy Butler's garage is full of stuff. So, and I wanted to also give a shout out to the audio visual, Randy and Andy working on that. Randy's very active in our community, also in our committee. So the other accomplishments this year, we had the building tented. We got rid of all those bugs. We had conversation on developing a specific UUCC logo. And this is an ongoing conversation because we use all the chalices that you see. We use other people's. We just go on the internet and get them, and we think maybe we should have our own logo. So we're still working on that. Our operations committee is kind of focused on work in progress and the process rather than always the finished product. And I must say, when you're in a committee like this, the process is really fun and just as engaging really as the end product. So the logo will probably come out at some point. We have planned game nights. I think that's a great addition. We come in here, we set up tables, we have games, we have a little food, lots and lots of fun. And our next game night is December 1st from 4 to 6 p.m. So we like to add more social events. So if you have any ideas for that, come to our committee and we'll help you develop them. We had a movie night, Just Mercy. Thank you for Nancy for organizing that. We had a cleaning and touch-up painting day, which Janet always organizes, and we're here with our paint, touching up the walls and stuff and cleaning the windows. Garden and maintenance, of course, thank you, Judy, again. Updating the website, Kat and Laurie, of course, have been really, Kat brought it to attention that we needed new photographs. Dolores organized for the new group photograph, and the web page is starting to look more current, so thank you for that. Let's see. Oh, we renewed our ad in the Chamber of Commerce, and along with doing that, we had a lot of conversation with Lorianne, who's the head of the Chamber of Commerce here, and our goal is to become more involved in the community. So she told us all about the chamber mixes. We've been attending the chamber mixes. They're quite fun. And we're going to host a chamber mixer here on February 15th. So that will be something that will bring us more involvement in the community. We renewed our fire insurance and submitted proof of compliance. That was one that was easy to do, but not really. I mean, we have to go over the insurances every year, and we did that. Janet and I did that together. We're still in the process of developing our postcards. So this is another one where it's a process rather than rush towards a final draft. It takes a long time to talk through these things, and that, again, the process is fun. But we really do want to expand within our community the knowledge of what we are here. I wanted to thank Margot and Julia for that, because you came aboard with an interest in that and added some of your great ideas. So thank you for that. Next year, we are asking for a little higher budget because that postcard project will cost some money. So Janet has already explained that. So thank you. Anyone is welcome to come. We have a good time on this committee. We're really, we work on the doings and goings on. So come and join us anytime. Just contact me for when our meetings are. They're usually once a month on the Thursday, second Thursday. Okay? Thank you.
Oops, sorry. Okay, so Religious Education Committee. 2022-23 was a little bit slow with the RE committee. Hopefully we'll accelerate the activities that are available to us in the upcoming, or in the current year, on through the summer. We did start a meditation group, and several of you have come on Thursday mornings to participate in that. It's a lovely time when we get together, meditate, and discuss issues of the heart at 10 a.m. on Thursdays. All are welcome. We also met a few times to discuss the UUA's common read called Mistakes and Miracles. We kind of ran out of steam on that. It's a heavy book that we just ran out of steam on. But we'll try again with some options, and I want to put up a slide of what some of those options are. We can meet to listen to various podcasts and videos, such as the On Being podcast. Deepak Chopra has a wonderful series. Joseph Campbell has a classic one that some of you probably have heard, but it's timeless, as well as TED Talks that address spiritual issues and other offerings, such as the Rubin Museum of Art, which focuses on Eastern spiritual issues. There are also books to be considered. I mentioned Mistakes and Miracles. That was last year's common read. The current one is called On Repentance and Repair. Also books like the one I referred to last week, From Aging to Saging. We all know there's many out there that are worthy of discussion. And then there are groups that offer actual curricula that we can all agree to study. Some of them are short 3-month period type of curriculum. Others are year long. 2 examples are the Wellspring organization, which is funded by the UUA, and the UU Studies Network, which offers all kinds of stuff more about history of Unitarian Universalism. So we had a pop quiz earlier, which I failed, but we had a pop quiz. Now I'm going to have a straw poll. How many of you would be interested in a discussion group based on a podcast or video? Please raise your hand. Okay, that's a good number, about 10. How many based on a common read? You read a book, like a book group? Okay, a little bit fewer, but thank you. How about a curriculum-based program, which actually has it spelled out, say once or twice a month for a couple of months? Curriculum-based, deeper dive into different topics. Okay. And then finally, how many of you are more interested in this if it's strictly in-person, face-to-face here in the sanctuary, the alternative being on Zoom? So in person, how important is that? Wow, very important. And if it were on Zoom, how many would be interested? Fewer. Okay, well, that's great. In person is important then. Of course, we always have the hybrid option, but that's a little trickier to execute. All right, well, that's all helpful information for me. Thanks, and I'll be getting back to you with some options as the time progresses.
Okay, so I am beginning the representation of the Social and Environmental Justice Committee to tell you of the many projects we are doing. You're going to hear from 5 of us. Thank you for all your contributions, everybody, to the Thanksgiving basket collection. Super appreciated. Denilda Rays and Link Family Resource Center are going to receive our donations that will fill 40 baskets with food for 40 families that need the help. This project is going to end on Monday after we've shopped and then help to fill and distribute the baskets. You're all invited to the school if you want to watch or help. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock is when we're going to be filling the baskets and distributing them. So you guys have really helped to make this a success for the 8th year. Hey, there it is. Okay. These slides that Randy set up for me, I was told it took 23 emails to do because I wasn't very clear. Is that the only one on the Thanksgiving basket, Randy? That's fine. There's the other one. Okay. Okay, we're going to switch up now. Our homeless outreach program continues, and I want to put a person to the effort. Gloria slept on the bench at the Vets Hall for almost 2 months. You guys might have seen her down there. This is recent. She's been taken into a home until the end of the month and hopefully longer. She is waiting for housing, but the system is very slow. She is organized, she's smart, she's positive, she's grateful, and she has been a recipient of the yearly homeless bags that we made, and Sue was there. We got one of Sue. Anyway, there's us, and Sue was there as well. And she's been a recipient, among many other people, of the clothing and the socks that we collected and of the no-cook food bags. Next slide, Randy. This is what's in the no-cook food bags. We get 30 of them every, 3 months or something. And supposedly this is enough nourishment for one day. So these have been really well received in those other bags, the yearly gift bags. You got a picture of that, Randy? The gift bag? Yeah, that's it. That's just chock full of toiletries and Band-Aids and flashlight, and those were very well received in this community. Anyway, we are a nonprofit, so we're able to receive the no-cook food bags, and of course, we have a budget here at the church for things like that. I want to thank the Rotary Club that supplied us with 100 toiletry bags this year. And I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for the help in collecting clothing, socks, and food. Also, thanks to the anonymous donor who provided us with 20 really good rain ponchos that are still being distributed. Thank you, Janet. What's next?
Let's do this quickly. Come join us cleaning up the highway. Woohoo! So we have two separate stretches. The Highway 1 stretch we've had for like years, right, Janet? Like 46, excuse me. I'm smelling the food, I'm getting hurried. Yes, the 46 we've had for several years. Great stretch there. And we recently picked up the Highway 1 stretch. I'm in charge of the Highway 1 stretch. Ted Keys and Rebecca send out the emails for the 46 stretch. If you're on our list, it's a great way to get exercise. We provide all the equipment and it's fun. If you're on our list, what happens is we do this every other month for each stretch. So we alternate. So every month we're doing a highway cleanup and the person in charge sends out the email. And we pick 4 people out of that on a date when we can work it, and we go out and clean the highway. We also get paid $250 every time that we do this now. This is a stipend that they've just, we just recently found out about this year, actually. So that's all good stuff. Okay, highway cleanup. Call me if you want to be on the list. Email me.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go over 2 things here, the food distribution and our Fourth Sunday collections. So the food bank, just off the bat, I just want to make a note on your ballot. The Cambria Food Bank is no such entity exists. It's actually the Slow Food Bank that we will be donating to. Basically, what we're responsible for is called the San Simeon distribution. Now, the food bank, of course, partners with us. We all do this together, but that's our specific. That's what when we collect money here for gift certificates or extra food for that particular distribution site, that's separate from the food bank. But our Fourth Sunday collection goes directly to the San Luis Obispo Food Bank. Okay, so San Simeon Food Distribution is now in its 8th year. It's grown from serving about 12 to 15 families to upwards of 50 households. Food insecurity remains a serious issue with families struggling with ever-growing housing and food costs. In San Simeon, we serve a mix of families, often living in substandard housing, the local unhoused, and itinerant groups in transit. The UCC and Cambria's Anonymous Neighbors are responsible for this distribution site. We purchased groceries that were requested by the San Simeon families, but we're using a grant from the CCC, which was obtained through CAN. And the reason we went through CAN is CCC won't give grants to a religious organization. So that's why we're partnered. We supplement the food supplies with $25 gift certificates that come from the Cookie Crock. And these are handed out to families that come too late when all the food supplies have been handed out. So nobody goes away empty-handed. We're always looking for volunteers. If you're interested in helping, the distribution happens once a month. And we usually need 3 to 4 volunteers. And those volunteers can help us transport food and then hand out the food shares at the site. So if you're interested, contact me. Another way you can help our effort is to contribute to our food bank gift certificate fund. And all donations toward this fund purchase gift certificates. That's a separate equity fund. Okay, lastly, for Sunday, I found a little interesting number. This year, we've donated $1,240 in the first 3 quarters to local charities that we selected last year in our ballot. Unfortunately, the 4th quarter recipient was CARE, which has been disbanded locally. So the next one down that got the second most votes was Heart. So Heart will receive our 4th quarter collection. And the interesting number is I look back over the years, we have donated $21,590 to local charities through this program. Yeah, that's very, very amazing. Yeah. Okay, so you will have the opportunity to vote. Please fill out your ballot and turn that in. I had one suggestion, which it's not on the ballot. We heard from a representative from ECHO earlier this year. And ECHO is a North County charitable outfit that provides housing and support to those local residents experiencing homelessness. So if you'd like to add them to the 4th Sunday recipient list, you can simply write their name in at the bottom and then allocate however many votes you get. Everyone has 4 votes, and you can do 1 to 4 for each charity. So I think that's it. Thank you very much. Oh, do you have a question, Margot? Yes, it is local. Yes. Oh, it's ECHO? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Talk sharing by ECHO, the founder of ECHO. Oh, you had a survey here. Yes.
Hello. Hi. This year, the Moving Toward Racial Justice group read and discussed the book Inventing Latinos, a new story of American racism, over several months as the year began. In the spring, we self-selected various podcasts regarding racism and discussed our findings over margaritas at Las Cambritas. Hard-working group. During the summer, we turned our attention to Nicole Hannah-Jones' award-winning series, The 1619 Project, which was well attended by several people of the community as well. I also screened the movie Just Mercy about the start of the Equal Justice Initiative, a group which fights injustice in prison. Our group previously read Brian Stevenson's book, Just Mercy, upon which the film was based. Our next activity will be showing the current Martin Scorsese film, Killers of the Flower Moon, about the murders of more than 100 Osage people in the 1920s. I expect to show it in December, once it's available to stream. So please read Lori's e-blast to learn details once I know them, when that can happen. Most importantly, everyone is invited to join any of our meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Hi, I'm Jan Macera, or Jan Callner, or Jan Calderwood, whatever you want to be. I don't care. I'm so honored and bedeviled at the same time to be chairperson of the Scholarship Committee. Honored because it's an important part of this community, the UU and the wider one, the Cambria community. Bedeviled because it's a ton of work, mentally, physically, and probably most emotionally. I feel, as many of you do, that our scholarship program is one of the most important outreach programs we have. This past year, we awarded 11 scholarships, 9 to Coast Union students and 2 to Leffingwell students, which is our alternative high school. We awarded $1,000 each to the Coast Union people and split another $1,200 between the Leffingwell two. It's our goal this year to give a full award to the Leffingwell student or students. And that's why I've asked, for another $1,000 in the proposed budget. Our committee this past year included Rebecca Hendricks, Mary Ann Anderson, Mary Schwalbe, Robert Wilkinson, Lou Patelka, and Stan Cooper. Rebecca graciously hosted the luncheon for the recipients and their families, a tradition we hope to continue. All the committee members who were in town participated in the scholarship service we held here on June 4th. The new committee for this school year includes me, Mary Ann, Rebecca, Steve Nathanson, who will be doing it remotely from the East Coast, Robert Wilkinson. In addition, I'm excited to announce we've enlisted the input from 2 non-UUs, but they're Cambrians. Neil Crook, a retired English teacher and author, and Patricia Taylor, a retired professor emeritus of education. We're extending our web of community. Come January, we'll be busy reading senior essays and assessing their potential UU value to the world. We will, I'm sure, find many more students than we have funds to accommodate, so please forgive us if come February and March, we beg for more money. Thank you.
You're forgiven. That's
Thank
okay. One of the best things you can do with your money is to give some to me. Give some away. Maya Angelou wrote, I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver. Generosity makes our world a better place and improves the life of the receiver and improves the life of the giver. Giving is a joyous process, and it has the potential to help us grow spiritually. Every time you give to the Unitarian Church, you become a part of humanity that believes in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Every time you give, it's like casting a stone across the waters to create many ripples. Those ripples extend far beyond from where we can observe them. Our actions reverberate throughout the physical and social world. You have made this community your home, and you have been generous. You have helped the church maintain a beautiful sanctuary, provide scholarships, pay for new technology, provide for the food drive, buy books for our new members in the UU library, pay our staff when we have some, to help pay for a new roof over our heads, which benefits all who share the building with us, and to pay for the necessities that keep this church going. We were able to successfully meet the demands of our budget once again because of your kindness in supporting our church. We are blessed by your continuing generosity. The truth is that many people experience a big boost in happiness when they spend money on other people and help others. An old Chinese proverb goes, if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. You want happiness for a day, go fishing. You want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. But if you want happiness for a lifetime, help others and continue your generous gifts to the UUCC. I snuck that in. You now can not only give on Sundays, but on any day as well through PayPal, check, credit card, or cash. And every time you do, you activate parts of the brain that release endorphins, which are associated with pleasure, social connection, and long-term health benefits. You're welcome. So we're asking you today to pledge once again. Cream-colored pledge form, which you should have, each one of you should have by now, should be in front of you, and it looks like this. You may turn them into Janet Cooper today or mail them back to Janet here at the church. You may also find the pledge form in your email, which was sent to you a few days ago. Charity is always an act of the creative imagination. I encourage you to hold yourselves in the light of generosity and abundance. So dare to imagine the greatest version of you. I leave you with the quote from Margaret Mead, never doubt a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Thank you.
Good morning. All active members, I'm from the Nominations Elections Committee, which was this year Anita and Don and myself. All active members present should possess a 2023 ballot. That is, it should be in your packet. At this time, nominations are still open for the following positions. Board of Trustees. On the Board of Trustees, the positions are Vice President, Treasurer, and 3 members at large. And the 3 positions on the Nominations and Elections Committee are open as well. Are there any other nominations at this time? If there are no other nominations at this time, nominations for this election are now closed. The following slate of candidates include Board of Trustees Vice President Susan Landau, participating remotely as needed, Treasurer Janet Cooper, members at large Ted Key, Kathy Persinger, and Anita Hoopsher. And for the Nominations and Elections Committee, Don Howell, Art Gillingham, and Rebecca Hendricks. Since no position is being contested, I call on Madam President Dolores Miera to preside over the vote.
I will now entertain a motion to adopt the slate of candidates for the office for 2024. Do I hear a motion?
I hear a motion.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, oppose? Okay, so moved. Thank you.
Mary and Diane.
What?
Okay.
Okay, so, okay.
Secretary.
There's more.
Finish your job.
Thank you, Dolores. You will note on your ballots in section B that you have, there are 2 referendums. The first is to accept the proposed 2024 budget. The second is to select 1 or more recipients of the 4th Sunday collection each month. The top 4 vote getters in that case will be the recipients for 2024. Please mark 4 X's in any arrangement on the ballot, and note that there is a space for a nonprofit of your own choice. When you're finished marking your ballot, please fold it in half and hand it to either Don, who's down here, or me. Winners will be announced during lunch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Wayne and Don are collecting the ballots. Then we'll extinguish the chalice and enjoy lunch together.
And what do we do with our pledge ballots?
Hand them to Don or Wayne, and they'll be counted during lunch.
Pledge forms.
Oh, pledge forms. Janet or Dolores collecting pledge forms? Couple more down front. Okay. So, as we always do, let's recite this thing together, and we'll extinguish the chalice and move on. We have basked in the warmth and beauty of this flame and this community. As the chalice flame is extinguished, we shall carry its glow onward. Let us kindle new sparks within these walls. Please remain seated for the closing words.
May our inner life be nourished by our community, and may our community be strengthened by each person's unique gifts. May we honor the diversity of our spiritual journeys and help each other on our paths. May it be so.
We have a buffet brunch for you, and we also have a poem that Marianne has written. She would like to recite that right now. Just take a moment.
Diane, do you want to set? We have a buffet for lunch.
We have a buffet for lunch, and Marianne would like to read the poem that she wrote for Thanksgiving.
Ah.
This is a Thanksgiving blessing that I wrote many, many years ago, and we read it every Thanksgiving at our table, and I'm happy to share it with you today as we partake in this table. Let us give thanks for all our many blessings, for the little children who see the world with eyes of wonder, for the youth whose budding strength lifts our hearts and spirits, for those who take care of us and keep us safe, our parents and providers, our nurses, teachers, soldiers, and let us not forget the wisdom of our elders. We are grateful not for things, but for people, for good health and friendship and satisfaction with our work. If we had nothing but stone soup, yet someone to share it with, we would sip the warm liquid love and feel fulfilled in the glow of candles, in the soft web of family and friends. Let this day live forever in our hearts, so that when we are old, or if ever alone or cold or hungry, we can recollect these precious hours with joyful gratitude for the hands that prepare the food, the voices that gently rise from the hearth, the sweet aromas wafting through the kitchen. Our souls will carry these senses forever. Let us eat, enjoy, and be together, and take a quiet moment to remember those who have departed, for they wait for us at the greatest table of all. Happy Thanksgiving.
Want to contest something?
No.